Welcome back to the Emergency Power Podcast. You've made it through another week, so pull out Daddy's credit sheet and peruse the finest wares in all of the vast.
Don't mind if I do.
Cybon Dervison the 15th.
I can't wait. It's going to be amazing.
I love that Aslanti in this world are like posh British people. It's not even British. What the heck is that? Like,
no, it's British. It's posh
wannabe British wasps.
Yeah.
That's what it really is. Yeah.
It's a very strange variant of the Mid-Atlantic accent.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Tom Brokaw on Zoloft or something.
Oh, no. And that killed it.
That wasn't awkward at all.
That was it. That was the joke that
Nice show,
killed the
everyone.
podcast.
Yeah, see you next episode.
Like, that's funny. Now,
I haven't even gotten my share of the money yet.
no, you haven't.
We are
You guys
clearly
got, like,
due.
a message that Pons is like sitting on money now.
I'm still back on the ship. I don't even realize anything's changed. I didn't know we were bankrolled.
I really can't wait for this information, darling.
Yeah, that'll be good.
But I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. When was the last time you guys leveled up and like actually got stuff from it?
Like
I
level
technically haven't
5.
leveled up yet, so
I feel like I'm due for level
Years.
up now.
Oh, okay.
I think it's about time for another level up, Adam.
Yeah.
Oh, is that so? Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So what have you done recently that's deserving of it?
They made an incredible friend.
I basically rebuilt the ship. I met a walrus with a clipboard.
Doesn't that mean the incredible friend's presence is the reward for that?
I can't argue with that logic, darling.
I don't like that.
We have not yet established that we are in a friendship. You must log more standard hours if we are to come to that conclusion.
It's like in our 5e
Yeah.
needs the like 3rd grade confirmation, like, hey, do you want to be friends? They're just like, yes, I want to be your friend.
It's just a checkbox that comes
Yes,
up
no.
Yes,
on
to
his
be fair,
face.
you've not handed me the checkbox. Yes or no yet.
My childhood education subroutine is actively determining if that is appropriate yet.
Wow.
We can certainly find something less appropriate if you would like.
Oh my.
I do not believe my current programming module will support that, but I am flattered by your insinuation.
That's quite a shame.
We need to get this going so that can be canon interactions.
Yeah.
Yeah, who has a popsicle? We can make that cannon right now.
So we're going to have to be doing this witty repartee in between rounds of combat.
I don't want to burn mine.
So 6-second chunks.
We'll see. Really, again, depends what everyone decides to do. So why don't we go ahead and get this started?
Yes!
Yep.
At Scar's End slowly spins, a station where you've made new friends, and uniformed men come from just around the bend. So let's tune in to find out which way this situation doth trend, and how it all will end. In the Tomes of Emergency Power, Volume 3, Chapter 3.
I don't like
Huzzah.
the part where you said it's going to end. That part makes me nervous because I remember the message that I got last time. So I need you to correct that.
That's
bad.
Yeah, so we're just like right after that message hit you, and some people in blue uniforms had come into the airlock. They had also approached, I believe it was Para and Pons and Uzi, and 5e had run into one. No, 5e had gone back to the ship. That's right. But before that, we're going to cut over Soul,
Yes.
your contact, a tired-looking man in a weathered coat who is currently floating sideways in the tunnel, takes a drag from their cigarette and then just blows the smoke out. And without looking at you, he says, "There's a decommed ship in one of the hangars. Been there for a few years. It's all but forgotten. Bugs in the system, so it can't fly, but most of the parts work. I know how to get in there if you could scratch my back, if you know what I mean."
I'm always happy to scratch things. What have you got in mind?
Well, it's gotta be enough that if this somehow blows back on me, I can vanish. So I'm thinking 1,500 credits.
I did pen in that, but it's potential. It's not my credits to burn, so I'm going to have to chat with others, but you know I come through. Well, I'm not in jail, but that's a whole other conversation. That's been taken care of.
Yeah, don't we all? Well, just kind of leans back, and it just like makes him drift a little bit backwards. You know where to find me.
Thank you, darling. And make my way back towards the ship, feeling rather good about myself, ready to negotiate that down once I know how much they actually have to spend. So we didn't
Fair
have
enough.
that conversation.
Okay, so you head back towards the airlock, and as you head in there, you can see down the tunnel there's several people in blue outfits, and you absolutely recognize station security.
Alright. I'm going to look around and see if there's anyone I know who might be able to give me a clue as to what's going on here, and I'm going to try and stay at least somewhat out of sight, because I don't need to be associated with this right now.
Fair enough. Geez, like culture or history?
I'm
Life
very
science.
good at both of those.
That right there is a human. I recognize that.
Hold on, I'm trying to see what I'm best at. Life science is 0. Culture is 1, I guess I could do culture?
Give it a go, see what happens, why not?
Well, that's a 5.
Yeah, you're kind of approaching them from the back, so you don't really see their faces. You can't really recognize who's there. But there's at least 5 of them just kind of sitting in the entrance.
Do I see any of, I've just lost the name. The Jets? I have...
No, bad job.
You see 2 gangs, like, snapping and singing and having, like, a knife fight where they're dancing back and forth.
Station security are really slacking on these guys.
My contract stipulates no West Side Story bits.
Okay, Jetracks. I was close. Do I see any of the Jetracks about? Anyone I could flag over? I know that...
Go ahead and give me a perception roll.
Okay. That I can usually do. 19.
Ooh, not bad. Okay.
And they're definitely at the ship, I assume. Like, blocking the way and...
Yeah,
going
they're
for
right
the
up there.
second hand.
Are they gonna shake me down?
So, yeah, as you look around, you know the Jetracks are just like basically a gang of kids that you've run into a few times, you know. And so as you look around, yeah, you see one kid leaning against a wall, just kind of smoking as well. He's like 15 maybe. And yeah, you recognize Slick Milo.
I'm going to slide up beside Slick Milo, take the cigarette out of his hand, take a puff myself, and say, "So, what's going on here, love?" And hand it back.
Power move.
Yeah, right? I think that them people from the ship are in trouble. Got all the fuzz on them.
Yeah, obviously. How long have they been here?
They just got here. Captain's here himself. Must be a big deal.
That is a big deal. Seem exceptionally hostile or just the usual?
Well, you know, he's always got to stick up his ass, so...
Brilliant. Alright, and I'll, just sleight of hand him a couple credits.
Thank you very much. Slides it back into his pocket.
Alright, so you said there's 5 outside the ship?
Yeah, including the captain.
Like, are they... How tight a perimeter is it?
Well, the way it's set up, it's essentially the airlock is a tunnel that goes to this main area, so they're just standing in the one entrance.
And it's closed because it's an airlock, yeah?
Nope, that one just kind of hangs open.
Cool. I'm going to hop on the comms and just kind of put out a blast to the group, or I don't know if I got the group's number, if I only got Scriff's number, but put out a blast to say, got company, you might want to be aware, station security's onto you. And then I'm going to casually just kind of walk that way, and once I start getting in a range where it's going to look suspicious, I'm going to just find some junk to duck behind and spend a resolve point to turn invisible and see if I can't slip past the guards.
I'll just casually turn invisible. It's okay. What?
It's a thing.
Wow. Okay.
It's what I do.
With that message patched through, 5e will quickly record Isman's vitals and then start heading toward the hatch, looking
Okay.
for Scriff or anyone else who's still on board on the way.
Yeah, like, 5e, you had just told Victor, like, oh, yeah, you should go out and look around. And then you're like, never mind. And just, like, get up and leave.
Belay that order. There might be trouble.
Okay, so, yeah, all the people at the second hand right now, you get that message. Like, Scriff, that message pops up, like, just after the audio message you got finishes playing.
Scriff
Okay.
is having the best day.
I'm gonna walk back into my ship, and I'm gonna go and just, grab my power armor just in case.
When you go to grab
Okay.
your power armor, you see that after getting that message, Brandon is hurriedly putting on his pants and his suit again, as he had to take it all off when he was helping you do like the repairs, so it wouldn't get dirty. So you can see him just kind of like fumbling with his belt,
Yeah, that's
trying to
why.
get it up, like trying to fit it over his belly again, and just get everything up. Oh, sorry. Oh,
So
sorry.
that's like adjacent to the airlock. So you just go over and just like putting on your corset right in front of these guys.
You don't want to get caught with your pants down in front of security.
Here, I can tighten that for you. Hold on. I'm gonna get up behind.
Good time there, honey.
Get up behind Brandon and like cinch it nice and tight.
Ooh.
Hide that dad bod.
Body ain't what it used to be.
You look like a million credits. I don't know what you're talking about.
Now, maybe we can, maybe I can go ahead and try to talk us out of this situation. How do I look? He like kind of fluffs up his collar and like puts his hat back on.
There's a little hair right there that. No, actually, it's fine. It looks good. Makes you look distinguished.
Why do we not simply engage the authorities in an honest fashion? If they are legitimate, they will have warrants and identification.
You clearly have not been at Scar's End for very long.
We just arrived on a ship that's 80 plus years out of society's know.
They should not have cleared us for landing if they were not prepared to deal with that.
So you guys are kind of congregated around in a group, and they're just kind of looking at you, and you hear from behind while you're whispering, I am Captain Williford, Guard Commander of At Scar's End. If you would all be so kind as to accompany me, Station Management has asked a meeting of you. Surely once that's done, you'll have time to deal with this ship and explore the many wonders of our station. And this guy, he's got like short blonde hair, and he has this just terrible little mustache. He's kind of scrawny young guy.
All right.
Wait, so the station is called At Scar's End?
Yes, of course it is.
With the at? Why is the at? Why not just Scar's End or something?
Because Scar's End is the thing outside the ship. We are at Scar's End.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
Your request is acknowledged, Captain. We will need time to secure our vessel before we accompany you.
It seems rather secure. I'm looking at it right now, and engineer, the space walrus gives a little wave, is here to keep it well in hand. This
say
is
his
a
name is
request
Engineer?
from station management.
5e is going to approach the captain. He only has his baton and his pulse caster, and he's made sure that the pulse caster is turned to stun.
Oh, God.
This.
And in a very non-threatening fashion say, I understand that there is a sense of urgency to your request. Would you mind if I see your identification before we acquiesce?
Of course. Pulls out badge, says at Scar's End, says his name, Henry Williford on it.
Okay. Can I roll, would that be culture, just to make sure there's nothing hinky?
Sure. Yeah, you could also do sense motive if you wanted that too.
Yeah, can I try to get in on that sense motive?
Oh yeah, anyone who's there can do it.
While he's doing that, was I able to slip past the guards? Do I need to do a
Yeah,
a
go ahead and
stealth
give me a stealth check, and I'll roll with some serious
If you are legit invisible, you get like a plus 30.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and like I don't think I could possibly beat it.
That's
I got a 19 sense.
17 plus my actual invisibility.
Okay.
So like a
So,
37,
yeah,
I think.
They're clearly just focused on this group, and you like can sneak in between their numbers, just like zigzagging through them. And they're just like, yeah, good job, Captain. Like,
Nice.
All
All
right.
right, my culture to check the ID was a 17. My sense motive against the captain and his henchmen is a 29.
okay, 29, 19. Okay, as far as you can tell, this person's on the level, and those papers and that badge actually does look pretty legit.
All right. I hand the badge back to him and say, thank you for your cooperation. We can never be too careful.
Have I encountered the captain before? Or is he
You've seen
above
him
even
trotting
my-
around. He just kind of lords it when he can, but yeah, he doesn't really talk to people aside from yelling at his men to do something.
Do I recognize any of the men he's with as being bribable or interesting in any way?
Bribable.
I'm sure I've greased a
Yeah.
few palms on this station.
I'm sure you have too. Yeah, let's see here. Why don't you go ahead and give me heads or tails?
Let's go heads.
Yeah, one of them you see in the local bar like all the time, even on shift, because honestly, this place doesn't really have that much going on. So
What's the best bar in town?
There
one
isn't a
moment.
good one.
Okay, what's the bar that they attend?
Not good. Best.
The Not Good? Is that the name of the bar?
No, it's called the Wheelhouse.
Okay.
All right, so what I would like to do is just slip around, because my invisibility only lasts a minute, so I don't have terribly long. I'm going to slip in
Sure.
and go just around the corner, so I'm in the ship, and wait until it looks like they're going to start escorting people away, and then I'm going to make a grand entrance, just so you have a heads up.
Fair enough. So, if you would be so kind as to follow me. And he gestures towards the airlock, and the guards kind of move out of the way, encircling a little bit, but not like super threateningly.
Okay. I look back to the ship, and actually, I'll just do this open air over the comm link, because I don't care if the guy hears it. Scriff, ensure that the ship is secured and locked.
10 full. Go away to the ship, lock it.
And I'll shoot a meaningful look at that walrus with an intimidate.
Ooh,
Okay, yeah, give me an intimidate.
I like it.
25.
Yeah, he's just looking over this paper, like flipping through the pages with his little flipper, and then looks down at you and just like does a double take as you just mean mug him, and just like looks back down at the clipboard.
The quickest flash of red across the blue LED display.
Okay, so Para and Pawns, you guys get this message on your comm link as a couple of these soldiers or guards, whatever they are, approach you in front of the shop. You've been requested for a meeting with the director of the station. If you two would please follow us.
Apologies, but we have other business to attend to.
There will be time for that later. This is from the top. You are on our station. Please come with us.
What?
Does
What was the name? What was your commander, sergeant? What'd you call him? What was his name?
I don't believe I said any of those things, but the station director herself has asked that everyone aboard your crew come to have a meeting.
Oh, well, do you have a big enough room for that? There's a lot of people in there.
How many would you say are on there exactly?
Well, they're just really big. That's more the problem.
I see. I'm sure we can find accommodations. Please come with us.
Can they?
Okay.
Do they have like their like their badges visible and everything, or they just
Yeah, they got them just above the chest.
And I think I'm gonna ask Gludge to guard the ship.
Okay. Yeah, you shoot Gludge a message, and you get a response that has definitely been auto-corrected like 14 times as he tries to do one word, which is, okay.
Well, I mean, he's got really big fingers.
We're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna teach Gludge to do speech to text, so that when he's on the ship, he can just use the onboard computer to send messages.
That or
fair
get him
enough.
a comm link this size for a large creature.
Yeah.
Okay. So Gludge yells at Slog in Trollish, and Slog yells back, and they just kind of sit down near the ship and just look over at the space walrus again, and he's just like, oh, no.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll comm Link as well on this side, just letting them know that, there's some men in blue clothing by us as well. They seem to want us to see their superior. Are we all headed that way?
Yes, we've been informed of their request. We're with their captain now.
Okay, well, I'll just go ahead and follow them then. I'll show you what we bought later.
I'm confident we will meet shortly.
Uzi can't wait to show off.
Keep your guard up around the station director. She's an interesting one.
What can you tell me about her?
It's hard to say. Many rumors about her, some good, some bad, but from experience, never believe the good rumors about someone unless they're about me.
I don't think that's wise, but okay.
That seems tautological.
Power clocking the badges remembers what he was told. Says, I believe we should go with them. It is important to obey the badge. However, and he turns directly to them, I do not trust the badge. I have been warned.
Oh, no.
This is going so great.
Beautiful.
I'm proud of us.
Well
They just
said.
cock their head at you and they're like, don't really understand what you're talking about.
Well said.
Well then, respect the authority of the station. How about that?
This was not given to me as a codex.
Then you can make a new one, right?
No, not for you. I simply do not trust you, I'm afraid.
Burn!
It's the badge.
It's the badge. Note to self, never acquire my own badge.
He looks over at Pawns, who seems to be, like, acquiescing a little bit. Would you please, like, kind of gestures at Para, like, help bring them along? This doesn't need to be a thing.
Yeah, guys, I believe the rest of the crew in our 5e and, Scriff are both going to be following these guys, so probably best to head in the same direction. And I'll just kind of, like, take the psychokinetic hand and give Uzi a little push forwards.
Yes, of course. Chief of station want to see Mega Chief, of course.
You make an excellent point, Pons. Well, I am sorry. Of course they are here to see Uzi.
Yes. He's beaming from ear to ear with this suit on, like he is so giddy.
Perfect.
Escort Uzi to wherever Chief of Station is.
Do you want to ride on my head again?
Yes.
And I can taxi him around.
This is a suit on top of a suit. This is the best
great
thing I've
honor.
ever heard.
That's fantastic.
Okay,
All right.
so yeah, Uzi climbs on top of Pawns and rides him like a chariot.
Fantastic. I'll kind of tuck my legs in so I look smaller. Just fly forward.
Power follows.
Joy.
I'm like,
Okay, so both groups follow, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will step out as they're about to take the others away. Say, excuse me, these good people are getting me off of this place and out of your hair. Are you sure you want to delay them further?
The captain looks over at you, recognizes you, gives you a little squint.
Of course you recognize me, darling.
Station management has decided this, not me. So, if you wish to come with them to make sure that everything is on the up and up, you're more than welcome to join us.
If you will insist on wasting my time, and I will make sure I walk close to the guard that I know to be amenable.
Okay. Go ahead, roll perception, you in particular.
Ooh, that is not good. That is a crit fail with an 8 total.
oof.
Ooh. Okay, yeah, so you think you see the captain mumble something under his breath, but you miss it because you're a little too far away. And then he starts leading the group out as you fall into rank with everybody else.
All right.
All right, so like, we're all together at one big group at this point, right?
Yeah, you guys are being brought together into a big huddle, and you're being escorted by a big group of station security.
I'm gonna approach Pons and Uzi and be like, I do declare, it looks like my contact was actually able to help you both out. Looking mighty dapper, the both of you.
This best Uzi ever look ever. Maybe Uzi make this official mega chief wear. Must always have suit.
Kind of arms wrapped around his waist as a seatbelt. Hey, look, we match.
As we're walking, Brandon's gonna pull out his personal comm and like take a selfie with all of them. Say, "Jeez, now, the Dapper Dans are all here," and then take a selfie of all three of them in their suits.
I do not understand. I have facsimile of greatest suit they have.
Yeah, Paras has like a melty version of their nicest suit.
It looks great. It looks great, honey.
I choose to believe you.
Cheers.
I have overridden my instinct to believe you.
Power quietly steps aside out of the selfie.
Now you have to roll burn damage.
As they're making noise, I'm going to lean into my friend God and just say, how much trouble are they in anyway?
Kind of looks over at you. Why don't you go ahead and give me a persuasion thing? Because, like, his boss is about 5 feet that way, so...
That's diplomacy, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One of those.
12.
12?
I am not rolling well tonight. RNGesus does
I
not
know.
like me.
Yeah, it just kind of gives you the cold shoulder. Just, like, keep moving.
Oh.
Thought it all.
Yeah.
All right.
So, let's see. Oh, there it was. I was in the wrong spot. So you're all brought to this. You're all brought through the cluster of tents to one of the twin rings of the station, and Williford comes to a stop in front of something akin to an airlock. And as you guys approach it, you notice a overgrown Vesk with also like 6 guards around him, and he just stands there, looks over, gives a little wave. As Swarkus Gore is also being escorted here.
Oh, good.
Who's bigger?
Oh no.
Between you or him?
Between the overgrown Vesk and Swarkus.
He is the same person.
Ask his Swarkus score.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said it. I thought you were saying it was like a bodyguard.
Now he's being
was
coy
letting us
about
in.
it because they don't know who Swarkus score is, but we do.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so he brings you up to the chamber and gestures everyone to get in, and it's a good size thing. It looks like it could move large amounts of cargo if need be. In case you have not been on one of these, this is an alignment chamber. We will all gather inside the room, and the room will begin to spin until it matches the rotational speed of the Flora ring. Gravity will slowly engage during the process. Orient yourself as the arrows indicate so you do not land improperly. There's little arrows that point towards the floor.
Thank you for the warning.
Which direction is the floor?
You guys are currently, like, kind of floating in there. So the floor's any real direction you could choose, but the arrows say it's right here.
Okay.
But, I mean, if you want, I guess you could lay down. But,
Well, I mean, because I can just mag boot myself to any surface, but that's probably
This is
bad
true.
because if it's going to rotate, that
centrifugal force.
might turn it into a blender. So I guess I'll do what the guy said to do.
Brandon chooses to lay down. He just goes and lays down. I can never get used to these things. And just like goes and like puts his arms behind his head. Whenever you're
like
ready.
he's on
dear.
vacation.
Yes.
Where's my fainting couch?
The most judgment of judgmental faces.
Like, every one of these guards, in particular, the captain with the horrible mustache just looks down at you and just shakes his head as this thing starts spinning up. So, as promised, this thing does slowly spin up, and kind of like if you've ever been on one of those rides at the fair that spins a bunch, it's kind of like that. Eventually, it gets gravity onto one side, and it becomes very obvious which is the down section. And then eventually, it lines up with another airlock and links into place with this big thud. As the doors open, you're led out and you are treated to one of the most beautiful sights you have ever beheld aboard a star station. An open-air forest bursting with the most stunning colors stretching from left to right all the way around the inner ring till it meets again miles above. Perfectly shaped flowers and bushes and trees of limitless varieties vie for your attention.
My word. Where were they hiding this gem this whole time?
Exactly. We were stuck in that, and this was here. How did I not find the right person to seduce to get this?
Sure is light years away from where we were.
My ocular senses have not been able to devour such input in quite some time. This is a pleasant variation.
I'm gonna take
This
a
place-
sniff of one of the flowers.
It looks almost half as good as you, Mr. Uzi.
Roll diplomacy to see how good that lands.
It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Filthy 20.
Okay.
Filthiest 20.
Yeah, his eyes are already glowing a little red, but then you see his cheeks get it a little bit too.
Oh, you made the goblin blush.
Speaking of ocular senses, do keep an eye out. I'm looking for a purple flower. Just throwing that out there.
Any purple flower or a specific one?
As far as I know, any purple flower.
I look for a purple flower.
Okay, give me a perception roll.
I'll join in that as well.
Can I hop in on this?
There's some lavender right there.
24.
I'd like
It would
to.
be disrespectful
20.
to keep the director waiting. As you guys are just like looking at flowers.
Hold on, I want to do the side quests first before I do the main quest.
Yes, darling, you've met me. I'm very disrespectful to your type.
Narrows his eyes. Okay, so what were those rolls?
24?
20.
Yeah, amongst the many different varieties, there's sections of different colors. There's sections that are intermingling, and there's absolutely purple flowers. Maybe not directly on the literal primrose path that you guys are being walked down, but nearby.
I will pluck one and show it to Soul. Is this what you're looking for?
Are you trying to do that in any sort of stealthy capacity, or are you just grabbing one?
No.
By the way, are you in your power armor? Are you like tromping through the garden?
It's a like a research vessel power armor. So like the armor is specifically called the Psi Shield unit. So it's like for scientific research. So I think it has like pretty fine manipulation.
Fair enough.
What
That's a
about
reasonable
walking through nice flower patches?
Yeah, walking is probably another story, but I can manipulate things with
Don't step on the
fine control.
grass.
Okay, so you just reach out with one of your big robot hands and just pick one of these flowers and then bring it back.
What about this one? It's purple.
What do you... Stop touching the
I
flowers,
actually-
please.
We're not speaking to you. Hold on a moment. It's very rude. Yes, I think that will do. Thank you so very much. We'll take it. Tuck it away. All right.
He just
now you
holds
can
his
take our time.
forehead. He looks over at you, so why is it there's trouble every time you're around?
Hi, you've met me.
You're the one that invited us here.
Can't you behave for like 5 minutes? I've had so many reports on you.
Darling, why would I behave for even 5 minutes? Life is so bloody short. You should try
I
living
can
some.
feel mine getting shorter right now.
Stop and smell the flowers.
Yeah, see? See?
He just turns around and gestures
Here.
for everyone to keep moving.
I pluck another one. Smell this one. This smells great.
Stop doing that.
What good is a flower if it's not to be enjoyed?
I quite like this one.
This is one of the primary exports from the station. Please stop taking them.
Well, it's
Oh.
very rude of you to parade us through it and not let us enjoy it.
I'm taking you to the captain's office. If you would please just let me do my job.
So,
Alright,
does she live on a farm or in the trees?
I believe these plants are to be appreciated from afar, not to be interacted with. A preservation in measure.
Pond kind of floats up
See,
slightly
the
higher.
robot gets it. He understands. Can we?
I have
please-
taken many children to museums in the past.
They provide oxygen for the ship, maybe, for the station.
This is the other reason they are here. You are correct.
That's pretty cool. I like
I
it.
never admire things from afar, darling. All right, lead the way.
Had to get in the last word before. Okay,
course.
you can go now. Go.
I've given you permission.
5e is running some computations in his internal circuits and has a sneaking suspicion that the longer we stay around Saul, the higher percentage chance there is of us being apprehended or otherwise delayed.
Can I,
You are doing the robot a concern.
can I roll a quick sleight of hand to try and grab one on the sly?
Yeah,
Just
go
real quick.
ahead.
It's a 16.
16. Okay, let me roll something real quick.
Does he get advantage because I'm being such a prat?
Oh, there isn't really advantage in this, though, is
How
there?
about you can roll to assist?
Bluff, I assume?
Sure.
That's a 22.
Okay, go ahead and add +2 to your roll there, Mark. What's the
That's a
total?
18.
18?
Yeah.
Okay. As you're walking, you kind of slip your hand over and go to grab one, and then one of the other guards in line smacks your hand. That's enough. The captain has said not to touch the flowers.
No word. So forceful. The things I could show you if we had a little bit of time together.
You see his eyes open a little bit as he kind of stares forward. Keep moving. Keep moving.
I'll continue moving, but as we're moving along, I want to kind of get close to this one, and just say, "Come on now, be a dear, and just tell me what is this all about? Surely you can give us a little bit of info."
Is this poor guy Saul's buddy who's just getting from both ends?
Yeah, you
That
guys
was
are
the
just
plan.
on either side of the same person.
Yep.
Oh no.
We are gonna give these guys so much gray hair.
Yeah, the captain's blonde hair is about to turn white. I guess go ahead and give me a diplomacy.
All right.
Seduction?
Here we go.
Where's seduction?
Yes.
Seduction.
Roll for seduction.
Ooh, that's a 31.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
So, okay, what was it you asked?
I just said, surely you can let us in on what's going on and why the director would even want to speak to us. It seems it's not like everyone gets a private audience. The director here on the station. Tell us what's going on here. What's really going on here, honey?
He kind of side-eyes you, and you can see him trying so hard not to turn red at what's going on. Like, no, most people don't get an audience with the director. The weird stuff has been happening here, and you're the first ship in a while, so I'm sure she just wants to talk to you about it. Just, I don't know. Don't tell me. Please leave me alone.
No. I don't want to do anything that would make you uncomfortable, but these are new friends of mine, and I just don't want them running into anything bad or any kind of tussles, especially not before we had a chance to share a drink together or something.
Who is this director anyway?
This poor guy.
The esteemed director around these parts is Dr. Kotomo. We don't really see her much around the station, but as you can see the decrepit state of this place, he kind of shoots a dirty look to the guards when he says that. She somehow is able to keep it running, but I have to admit, even I was surprised to see that this beautiful garden was located in such a dump.
I looked the director up on IMDb. Have they done anything that I've heard of?
Its only credit is director. So
Wow.
I would slide
it's
up.
about this. Okay, I'll let you do one more thing, and then you guys
No.
are gonna arrive.
My
Just-
goodness.
Just gonna slide up to Para and say, I overheard your talk earlier. Very good. You did well.
Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Which part?
Oh, and I lean in and say it rather quietly so my friend doesn't. You really can't trust these types. Just so you know.
I would have marked it to the secondary part of my codex. I definitely will never trust the badge.
Oh, the worst influence.
I don't know. I think it was sound advice.
Okay, so eventually, after all of this shenanigan, you're led to a 2-story tall greenhouse. And the doors slide silently open as the captain approaches it. And he gestures for all of you to go inside, and some of the guards kind of move in and take up position inside.
Brandon will wink at that one guard and be like, "Catch me later."
He just kind of looks down at the ground, and you see him like fiddle with his the holster of his gun, just like clipping and unclipping it.
Sol looks at him as if they've just lost a great deal of respect for him.
Such jealousy.
So, do you guys move inside?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
fly right inside.
Yeah, as long as I was there.
Uzi's still riding on top of
On the
Pong.
head.
Love it. It's like a little throne.
What's the lighting situation? It's a greenhouse, so is it rather bright
Oh,
in here?
it's rather bright, yeah. There's an amazing ambient light all over this area.
Artificial sunlight.
Yeah. So inside this room is a lone desk with a one-way holographic hovering display. And sitting at it is an older human woman in a professional dress that shimmers purple and green depending on the light, with this gunmetal gray hair pulled back into a severe bun with like perfect makeup that cannot hide the amount of like stress lines and age, nor like the hard set eyes and like the intelligence therein. So as you guys move into this room, sections of the floor start to rise up and turn into benches so that you guys have somewhere to sit. If you would sit down, please.
Pons will go ahead and sit.
Are there any animals like in this garden, or is it all
Any bird
like?
song?
Yeah, are there any birds that fly around here?
No, you didn't see any like fauna in here.
Okay.
Artificial pollinators, then.
Yeah, like either artificial pollinators or they have robot bees doing that work. Who knows?
Cool.
Sol more artfully arranges themselves than sits. And like because it's bright in here, like they have like it almost looks like they're encased in ice where their skin is, and it's just glittery and crystally.
Whoa.
So she touches a contact on her desk and says, "Welcome to At Scar's End. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Dr. Isuka Kamato. I thank you for your acquiescence in joining me here. I'll not waste all of our precious time, and I will be quite direct. I ask that you show the same respect.
Acknowledged.
Your ship," and as she starts talking, people like come in with little things of tea and start trying to serve it to different people. The second hand, as I hear it's called, is not registered in any database that the infosphere is connected to. I imagine that the registry you sent would pass in a fair many stations, but I keep my eyes out here in the vast. My mechanics have also informed me that your ship requires replacement parts. It would not be inexpensive to find these parts, and the bureaucracy of registering an unknown ship can be extensive. She crosses her hands on top of the desk and looks around the group. I would like to understand the situation with which you find yourself. Our little station is scarcely a tourist destination, and provided you are forthcoming, we might well find a way to help each other's causes. She sits back a little bit after asking if you would be willing to explain your situation.
No.
Do you guys want me to? No? Oh.
I don't exactly trust it. Can I sense motive and just see?
Yeah, sure.
I too would like to sense motive.
I don't exactly
Yeah.
trust these people. All
got
right,
19.
so that is a 25. I would also, just because I am rather untrusting, would like to do a life science, which my DC is reduced by 5 So just make sure the tea isn't drugged or poisoned or anything, and that's a 12.
Sure.
Don't trust these people.
Off to a great start.
Yeah, that's very fair. That's very fair.
Power rolled a 5. So whilst they don't trust the people, the food seems fine.
You just take the whole cup, absorb it, and then bring it back out.
Yeah. The cup is spotless. The tea, not the same color.
Ugh. Okay. Yeah, with that, like, as far as you can tell, it doesn't seem poisonous. There's no telltale signs of it. And what were the sense motive rolls again?
19.
25.
5.
I was
all
like,
new
I'm
to
getting
him.
new data.
It's definitely first day in the world.
Yeah.
Love it.
Great.
Okay, so you other two, you can tell that how she's talking, it definitely seems like she wants something, and like maybe she's not willing to trust you with what that is before she knows what you guys are all about. So I think she's trying to suss you out the same way you're trying to suss her out would be the best explanation for what you're getting.
We're freelancers here to do some repairs and refitting before we head out back into space. Seems like you have a job for us, though.
One of her perfectly plucked eyebrows goes up a little bit. And what makes you say that?
Well, you wouldn't just call any ship into here unless you had a job for them. A ship that was not matching any known registrations is a matter for the walrus with the clipboard.
It has to come through me, ultimately. But, as I'm sure you know, just being freelancers out there, there's pirates who tend not to register their ships. I would like to have reassurance that pirates have not docked on this station.
For the most part, I believe you could classify the inhabitants of our vessel as refugees.
Ah,
That tracks.
and where are you coming from then?
The answer to that question is more complicated than I am confident in imparting.
And is there a reason you don't wish to share that?
I do not think that you would believe us.
Tilts her head. I'm willing to listen.
I'd love to explain the whole story.
Is it time for a pawns pondering?
Yes!
Is it time for Pawns Pondering?
Pawns Pondering.
Out loud?
Carry the shit, Pawns. You got it. We believe in you.
Let's go.
Hold on. I'm gonna invoke a pawns pondering right now. Watch this.
It's time for Pawns Ponderings, Pawns Ponderings. What did he learn today?
Oh my gosh. I forgot you did it. Audio record for that.
That's so
So
worth the wait. Thank you.
Officially the best timeline.
So
Wow.
as Pawn goes to explain this, that jingle just comes out of nowhere, and the director just like looks around, like, what's happening? It just comes out of his boombox.
Click. Uzi, stop playing with my... don't hit that button.
Accidentally kicked it.
So, we were in like this huge spaceship, cargo, I think to an asteroid, maybe a moon, but it got shot and then crash landed just somewhere. I don't really know where, but goblins, a bunch of little green boogers came. They tried to swarm us. It was crazy. We took out, I think. Oh, Scriff was on drugs the whole time. So he
Not the
wasn't
whole
very
time.
helpful.
Just the first part.
Fair.
She's just
Fair.
steepling her fingers while you're talking.
Yeah, we met like a monk in some church building. He was part of a Trinity church, something like that. And all these vines wanted to eat us. So we went underground to hide from the vines and popped up in like this city, and everything was all crooked and sideways, and we hang glidered with our goblin friend into a city after in our 5e drove this truck away. It went also so anyway, giant Vesk out there. Yeah, met him along the way. He tried to kill us. punched this guy right in the face. That was a bad day.
Sworkis looks away from everyone and smiles just a little bit.
Yeah, so anyway, we met a goblin clan, claimed leadership over it. That's Uzi's job now.
Oh, yes. The mega chief of always this goblin clan.
Wait, Uzi, you told me that you single-handedly wrested control.
Of course, used own hands to do it, but was lifted up by second-hand crew.
I think Uzi meant that Uzi used only one of his hands.
That's right.
Yeah.
Uzi only one-handed that day. And
Anyway,
broken
we-
legs.
I choose to believe you.
That qualified.
That is the most passive-aggressive
Seriously.
way.
Yeah, is that burn damage for Uzi now?
I choose to believe you.
We all lived in a yellow submarine. We ring warped like Sonic through to a different planet. We appeared up in like a giant wizard with some stone monsters. Grabbed the arm and attached it to a robot, and now we're here.
First we attached it to a Sheeran, and then we attached it to a robot.
I think at this point, Brandon's gonna take off his hat. He's gonna start fanning himself with it. And be like, "My word, y'all are bona fide adventurers."
Soul has one eyebrow that just keeps rising higher and higher and higher.
You
I
look
can
over,
confirm
the
the last
director
part.
has the same eyebrow going up. You like catch eyes.
all
for a
true.
second.
Tell them about the giant chicken.
A giant.
Oh,
chicken.
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
The giant
we had to-
holographic chicken.
We fought a giant chicken. Scriff programmed it.
This is so much better than my recap.
We should let Cooper do this all the time. I'm so happy right
This is
now.
amazing.
If it means more instances of that jingle, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh, I think the planet was called Io? I think the planet was called Io.
Inaode.
I don't know what he said.
Bless you.
I'm not sure I entirely understand, but it does seem that you've been through quite a lot.
Yes, Doctor, and Soul's gonna kind of sweep to their feet and be like, number one, the makeup, amazing. Just let me say, very impressive, impeccable. But none of
Just
that,
the tiniest nod.
none of that actually explains any of the odd occurrences here on the station. And I have a feeling, called intuition, that's more about why we're here. Perhaps we want to cut to the chase, love.
I can appreciate your directness. Thank you.
Settles back down.
I was surprised to see your ship arrive because, well, let's say I have been waiting for a cargo ship that has been exceedingly late.
I know.
I'm sure you've read the news. Waits to see if any of you read the news.
Have I read the news?
Are you someone who would read the news?
No, but I talk to people who
Paul
read the
looks
news.
very blank.
I'm gonna roll a bluff on that and be like, yes, the news. Oh, fascinating.
Okay, yeah.
Fascinating occurrences going on in this sector. It's a 33
Can
for
I-
bluff.
You definitely have the appearance of knowing what's going on right now.
Have I talked to anyone who read the news?
Yeah, that would also probably be within a culture role. You would have, heard the culture around,
No.
Yeah, you're probably not talking to the type of people who would necessarily talk about this.
We're certainly not talking about the news.
Yeah, you talk mostly to the people who are in the bar, which there are many. But, yeah, so she can tell that some people know what's going on and clearly others don't. And she kind of looks down at her perfectly immaculate inch-long fingernails for a second. Something has changed recently. It's taking ships near twice as long to get anywhere where they're traveling through the drift. It's grinding trade to a halt. People are stuck in transit far longer than expected, and outposts are having to ration supplies. Several ships have simply vanished, and I unfortunately suspect the one I am waiting for may have met such a fate. So,
How long ago did this happen? Did this start?
This was about 2 weeks ago. So she goes to put a curled finger up against her chin, and as it reaches the destination, everything slows to a crawl.
What?
And then freezes.
What?
Para.
What?
As Director Kamato speaks of these strange happenings in the drift, you are hit with a violent sense memory. The synapses in your mind begin connecting or perhaps regrowing. You know without question that what she's talking about has something to do with you and the rest of you. You see a sudden flash in your mind of a blackened matter mass drifting through the empty void for eons. A flash of worlds the size of galaxies colliding and shattering. A flash of countless insectoids devouring their way across space. And finally, the drift, as if taken in all at once. And as you return to what some might call here, and what could be called now, time still waits. You feel your body change and readjust as this fragment of knowledge, this glimpse of time and space settles within you, and you have been physically affected by it. You feel a new yet familiar power begin to surge inside you. And if you would be so kind, I would like you to roll some paradox dice for me.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir. Is our good friend Para a f***ing precog?
Yes.
So it might seem.
What?
I mean, maybe.
I mean, maybe. I mean, maybe.
Oh my god!
I don't know what that is.
Time shenanigans.
Time shenanigans.
Yeah.
Precog is the
I'm
class
aware.
that most, as of this recording, is the class that most recently came out in the Galactic Magic book.
Oh, cool.
And I rolled 3 of those, right?
Yes. Yeah, you can get 3.
Time and gravity are very connected. I knew I liked them.
Well,
That was encouraging.
Doesn't sound good.
Even if the rolls are
It's
bad,
just
like
a
you can,
flipping, yeah.
I think you can use them on enemies too, right?
I was trying to be as flat as I could, so maybe she's going, well. Is that better? Is that more for you guys?
Just dub it in there.
I think to use them on enemies might be a higher level thing.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, level 5 is mostly on myself and the things around me.
fair enough.
You can use these on yourself, but you get the feeling that you're a little different. You can actually use those on allied creatures as well.
Ooh.
Ooh, shiny.
So you feel this change set in as everything begins to slide back to this normal pace, if you can call it, where time moves forward. And she's like, and just like tries to continue her sentence.
There's a brief moment where Para's whole body flares up in all the liquid that is over there, the SRO skeleton, just like flares up in spikes for a moment, like getting a cold shudder up your body.
You look like that ferrofluid stuff that when you put a magnet near it spikes out every direction.
Yeah.
So she's like, and then just looks over at you. Are you quite all right?
I am better. I apologize. And he concentrates to get it back down. It's not as fluid and easy as usual, but it's shrinking down.
You look like a cat that poofed up, and then you're just trying to put the hair back down.
Like trying to
I'm just envisioning a robot Tiggy.
It's like if you put it too close to one of those electric ball things, and the first stuff like stand up on it.
So, Adam, how long has it been since we entered the codes to escape that planet?
According to the jumps you did and the time that was going on through there, it was, let's see, like about 11, 12 days.
So about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
totally not our fault that the drift is screwed up now. At all.
Not at all.
It's a coincidence.
Absolutely
true.
no cause and effect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We did spend a long time in
It's
there.
the drift's fault.
It's the children who are.
Yeah.
It's the drift
It's
who's
just
wrong.
having a bad day. So she looks over, doesn't really have any choice but to believe that you're okay. The guards are kind of a little more on edge. You see a couple hands near blasters in case they need to deal with someone
It's okay.
exploding.
They do that all the time.
Bluff, please.
I think Brandon is also a little uneasy at this as well. Maybe not hand on a blaster, but definitely like eyeing Para, like keeping like as much concentration on Para as he can while trying to stay a part of this conversation.
Soul, on the other hand, will slide over and kind of just put a hand on Para's shoulder and just kind of give a look like, all right.
Thank you. I sneezed.
You have the best recoveries. So believable.
So good.
Earnest as fuck.
Happens to the best of us, darling. Pats the shoulder, leaves the hand there, supportive.
Like, you put your hand, it sinks in a little bit, then as you come back, it, like, sticks just for a second before going back.
And I actually start kind of hand up. This is wonderful.
Your nails are very clean now.
Oh.
Well, wait, did the gold lacquer come off my nails? Because if the gold lacquer came off my nails, I'm going to be very upset.
Yeah, you put your fingers in there, and you mess with it a couple times, and then on the last time when you pull your hand back, you look down and you see it's just your normal nails now.
I was due to get them redone anyway.
Apologies.
I'm sure it's not your fault, darling. It's all right. Just take care of yourself, yes? This is
And
not the
also-
place to lose oneself.
You're
I
not
think
sure,
you're-
Soul, but you might catch the director giving like a little bit of a look of sympathy as all of your nail polish disappears.
Yeah, the doctor's has like the long nails, huh?
Yeah, the gold is so difficult to get here. That's the problem.
Wait, that was real gold on your fingers?
No, darling. But it's about the look.
If you give me some time, I can perhaps replace it.
Soul is
If-
going to, as nicely as and like politely as they can, look down at the suit, look back up, be like, I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Understood.
So, what exactly do you want us to do with your missing ships?
Well, I don't think you can do anything about the missing ships. But as you quite astutely pointed out, I do in fact have something that I would like done. And I think I can perhaps help you in some ways with your ship problem
Well,
in trade for that.
I look over at 5E kind of knowingly and say, we don't exactly have a lot of time. We do have somewhere that we need to be.
Yes, there are extremely pressing issues at hand.
Well, the thing I need done is a delivery of sorts, so if there is something that needs to be done while on the way, that would be fine so long as the package is unaffected by it.
What is the cargo and the destination?
The cargo is nothing dangerous or untoward, I will simply say that. And the delivery is in the Viscarium.
I see.
Swarkus's eyebrows go up.
Who with his eyebrows?
He's got little, like...
They're painted on.
Yeah, they're little spikes that come out, and that's what goes up and down.
Yeah.
He did his eyebrows this morning. They look great.
There you go. Yeah, fantastic.
Out of habit, Soul is going to make a hand signal to like have options, and then realize no one here is in the gang, and just kind of into their hair.
How big is this package?
About, I'd say 3 feet square. It's not excessively sized.
I just want to make sure it's not like a body or something.
No, as I said, it is not anything untoward.
You'll forgive me if I don't trust you yet. We've had a long week.
Who would be our contact in the Vesperium for this delivery?
Well, provided that we come to an arrangement, I will send the coordinates and contact information to your onboard computer if you think that's a good idea. It seems to be a bit different.
You should give it to me directly.
Nods. Well, that is if you think that this would be something you can accomplish. As I said, some strange things have been happening in the drift, and by the sound of it, all of you can handle yourselves. Looks over at Brandon and Sol. I'm not sure why the two of you are here exactly, but...
These two citizens wish to book passage off of this station with us.
They've booked fare.
Believe me, darling, if I could be anywhere but here, I would be.
The chance to ride along with these fascinating creatures and fight holographic chickens. Who could ever pass that up?
Yes, all right.
Indeed.
And we certainly could use the resources to get the ship back up and running. So Scriff looks around and checks to see if anyone has any dissenting opinion. I think we're all in agreement. We could take your package.
If I could just ask, though, what is the reason you're being so secretive, darling? You don't have to tell me specifics, but come on, give us... Are we going to be hunted for this? Are we doing something you don't want your name linked to? What sort of risk are we exposing ourselves to with this?
Oh, it is fully sanctioned by the Vesperium government, so you needn't expect fear of being arrested or anything of that nature.
Would you like insurance on this package?
Indeed, I would. And it
does
does occur to me.
What value would you like to place on this package for insurance?
It does occur to me that if I simply just helped you repair your ship, gave you an item, and then you just went off, I might never see any of you again. So, some sort of reassurance from you would indeed be nice.
You would like us to offer you collateral in exchange for a job you want us to perform?
Well, I think you can understand the position I'm coming from. This is something important I wish done. And as you are not registered anywhere and have no history of completed work or anything of that nature that I could find, yes.
It also seems that you don't have many choices in the matter, so I would say your position is not as strong as you suggest.
I would be quite curious to know what would satisfy your needs.
Well, are there any of you who would say stay behind to be retrieved at a later time?
We could give him...
What?
We could give him Isbin.
Oh, Uzi thought you were going to say Uzi, and he was very concerned for a second, Squishy Pawns.
Of course not, Uzi.
You want a hostage in exchange for your delivery?
They will be in no way a hostage. They'll be free on the station.
You are never free on this station.
Well put. However, they would be as free as anyone here. Again, I simply don't wish to have this object I wish transported disappear.
Will you give us time to consider your terms before we come to a full agreement?
Oh, absolutely. I do not see that ship departing anytime soon, judging by the state of it, so there's time.
And just one more question.
Yes.
If we say don't need your help in repairing the ship, what trouble are you going to give us departing?
I do not know what you mean.
I am quite certain you do, dear.
You are being impolitic. If you wish to book passage on this ship, you would do well to make less trouble with the local authorities. I apologize for our soon-to-be passengers' insolence.
Oh, she nods in like a thank you kind of way to 5e.
Pond's kind of pointing around and does like a telepathic huddle type of gesture.
Sure.
All right.
Group huddle.
Yeah. Group telepathic huddle.
Cone
real
of
fast.
silence.
Okay.
Voices in my mind.
Okay,
Also,
I don't know.
is this Vesk porn? Are we transporting Vesk porn?
We already did the Vesk porn.
I
Yeah,
know,
I already
I'm
took
just-
care of that at the Goblin. Yeah.
I feel like it's coming back.
Okay,
How
if we
dare
could-
you
can
think
we
I would
watch it on the
reuse a
way? Can it be
storyline?
opened and enjoyed along the way, or is it one of those?
Don't worry, it's gonna get
Vintage
open.
stuff. This is old school stuff.
Yeah.
It's not open to Ravenous space.
It's like a pinup you'd see painted on a starfighter or
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Look at
Old
those
school.
horns.
Yeah, I don't think we should leave anyone on the station. Like, I don't trust anyone here.
So let me
present company excluded.
throw out a couple of considerations. One is that we have not yet ascertained how safe Uzi's people are, because we've got basically an entire clan of
Goblin
refugees
clan,
on a massive ship that has not been taken care of.
We could park that by the station.
Do you really think that this station master is going to let us park a ship full of goblins?
That's a good point.
It's value. They want collateral. We are not going to leave. Uzi's not going to leave his goblin clan here, so that is incentive.
right?
And also, they won't want to keep it any longer than they have to.
All right. Yeah, I mean, 5E's only concern is that, like, we've still got a whole bunch of people that we've said we will help, and they're not really helped, because at minimum they need a safe place to put their ship, and they need to be able to trade for things like food. And that's my only concern, but hopefully Uzi can grease the palms. But I also don't want Uzi to think that we just go, fuck the goblins, we're going to take this job. And
Yeah, no, I think that's perfect. Like, so Scriff is gonna say, well, what if we just leave them our other ship as collateral? Well, not our other ship, but the other ship.
What if you guys left the goblins on the proviso that they're looked after and able and are allowed to trade and sort of out that way? So they're given somewhere to basically set up to start off, trade, get food, yada yada, and
They
then
just
they're
gotta
looked after.
restock before moving on again.
I was thinking take over the station,
Wow,
but that works too.
I think that's probably
and-
why they
Alright.
don't like space goblins very much.
if we came back and it was goblin controlled, it would be a win for us.
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I think this is a good plan.
The other thing is, Jeff, do you think that, the crew as a whole, like, passengers not included, I would want everyone else's opinion, like, should we attempt to leverage the station manager to get info on the tiefling that we're after? Because if she's got ins with law enforcement and he's a known criminal, we might be able to at least get a clue to his whereabouts. And, maybe it's between here and the Veskarium, maybe it's beyond it.
You could, if you have a name,
We
I
don't.
might be able to help you out with that.
You made a deal with the dude and you don't know his name?
I don't know his real name.
But you know an alias.
His alias.
It's an
That's
A name,
cool.
right? Yeah, he's got to have an A name.
An alias and a description? I
He's-
might be
he's
able to help.
he's pretty distinct. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, you might want to. You guys could probably take some time and talk about that.
Could I craft a holographic image from my memory and
Potentially,
give it to the authorities for like a facial match?
potentially so. Yeah, you could just hook back up to the second hand.
Yeah, and just F12 that I'm cursing a lot this episode. You're gonna have to beat me out a lot.
Sweating so hard.
If we're going to be leaving all these goblins behind, please make sure that Uzi is not amongst them.
that's up to Uzi.
Yeah, is Uzi included in this, or is he just
Yeah.
sitting there where you guys just kind of stare at each other
He's
intently?
there.
No.
I would assume Uzi is being included in the telepathic conversation.
Yeah, if Power's there, Uzi's definitely there.
These are his people we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uzi, how do you feel about this? It would allow your people to make some trade and maybe recuperate. They've never been in space for this long, so it might be nice for them to get out a little bit.
Uzi rubs his little chin. Uzi have conflict. Uzi want to go and fight things and do big kills, cause it's so much fun. But Uzi also mega chief, so he now need take care of clan. Even if he Uzi concerned that all of you may die if Uzi not there.
Damn you, Uzi.
A very serious proposal.
It's a tough decision, but assuming that the director accepts the proposal, we would be back for you.
I understand and appreciate your concern for our well-being. But for what it is worth, I believe you would be making the right choice to stay behind and see to your people's well-being.
Uzi, they'll have me looking after them at this point. I'll do something to try to pick up the slack that this group will feel without your presence.
I would ask that you not consider that variable.
Uzi
Okay.
now very concerned.
5E's back off of soul list.
So Uzi thinks about it for a few seconds and says, things you say sound much like things Uzi old man like to say. They all very smarty things, and it's hard to say no. So, if we can make sure goblins can come on station and goblins get food and things like that, then Uzi think it would be okay for him to stay this one time. And he narrows his eyes and looks at everyone.
And I can certainly introduce you to the most fun people on this station.
Okay, Uzi impress them, and he pulls on his suit lapel.
All right.
Absolutely.
I think we have an accord then.
So we've just been doing a telepathic huddle in the corner of this room
Oh,
all
yeah.
the time, right? Just staring at each other in
literally
silence.
Everyone
Hey.
over the last several minutes has just been watching you guys in complete silence, staring there.
There's definitely no psychic spies listening into everything we're thinking of each other.
Of course not. Why would you assume that? Horrible.
I'll probably get something to be able to block that eventually, which would be kind of awesome.
Soul's
That would be
definitely
awesome.
pulled out a deck of cards and has been shuffling. So there's just the sound of cards.
What kind
Can you
of
imagine?
Shuffling.
We all just start playing cards in the middle of the room. Don't say a word. This is our That's our conversation.
Just a minute, please.
Darling.
Okay, cards.
Darling, they're tarot cards. You don't play with them.
Oh, that's too bad. These group huddles always give me a little bit of anxiety. Kind of back out of it.
Shall we address the director?
I
Yes.
think so.
We have a decision.
Yes!
You can. Scriff will turn around. You can take our other ship and the goblins,
An
As
eyebrow goes up
collateral.
again.
and I'll point to Uzi.
Who could ever refuse?
I'm gonna have Uzi roll diplomacy for how handsome he is.
He's got a new suit.
Yeah,
They all look just
Uzi
like
got a
him.
That's
27.
right, he
Yes,
did.
Uzi!
Champion.
Uzi's fly.
Yeah.
Sick Mega Chief
oh my
moves.
gosh.
Mega
The
Chief
most
moves.
handsome,
Mega Chief
decked
swagger.
out goblin. You have another ship.
Well, it's his ship,
Yes.
but yes,
Goblins! Space goblins, Wastis clan have very own. What we call it now that it not generational ship, it have big guns and things on it. Warship!
Their people were stranded on a world that would eventually have killed them off. We helped them to escape. Their clan are refugees, as I stated previously.
Yes, that. Goblins not here to do any raiding parties or anything like that. We are very nice right now to people that help us, I guess.
The catapults on top are just for fun.
they're trebuchets.
It was necessary to
excellent.
provide them with defenses in order to escape their planet.
As now ship is in space, could goblins be in trebuchet and be shot in space
Yes,
for
absolutely.
fun?
Yes, 100%.
Probably go very far.
Might not ever stop.
So what you're proposing is to bring a warship here?
It's a ship of refugees that also needs repairs and will bring much commerce to your station.
If you will provide us with some extra time before we depart, I believe that Mr. Dovetail and myself can ascertain that no weapons above Class 2 will be active.
Bring the ship to the point where we can scan it to make sure there is no potential harm that we see. And if that is in fact the case, I believe that might be agreeable.
And is that acceptable to you, Chieftain Bustwound?
Uzi, have nothing to hide. We not here to do bad things. We are next saviors of galaxy.
I believe it.
You heard it from the chief himself.
I've been there.
I look at him like, huh, okay.
Tell me that's not a face you can trust.
Looks around at all of you. I believe that we can have an accord then. Please go ahead and inform this other ship to come towards the station and then go with the guidance of the air traffic controller. I don't know what they are in space.
Space traffic control.
The space traffic controllers.
Just out there like in zero G with cones.
Oh man, that
So
would be
stressful.
the worst job. They just like put you in a suit, put a cable on you, and shoot you out there, and you just have the things in space.
It's the actual
Like,
use
you're
for
just sitting
lightsabers.
there, chilling, and then all of a sudden this giant portal from the drift opens up.
Just a little bitty fan on the side so you can kind of drift yourself the direction you need to be.
Scooch out of the way.
But
Yeah.
the mortality rate's really high.
No.
They get good hazard pay though.
It's like Wally just going. Pff.
Well, once we have made sure that everything is acceptable, I'll send the coordinates and the directions to you, and looks at the Yosoki in the room.
Sounds good.
I just have one final question. Looks over at Para. I don't believe I've ever met anyone like you. If it is not rude of me, what might you be?
Power stands up off the desk, looks at the director. As much as you can tell, they're looking at anything with their big green bug eyes, and says, "It is rude, but I am not sure. I just know that I am here and alive, and I wish to explore with these people, and I wish to continue to be here and alive.
Yeah, he was just born yesterday.
Also that."
He is remarkably advanced for only being a few standard hours old.
I've taught him a lot. It's going well.
They grow up so fast.
Will they also help with the teaching?
Your people here on the space station are very lucky to be in the presence of War Chief Uzi. In the 17 hours I have known him, I have been... Well, has it been 17 hours? How long has it been? Like 2 hours?
Probably, yeah, not even. Probably like 3,
Not very
maybe.
long.
In the 3 hours I have known him, he has proven himself to be a strong, capable, impressive leader.
She nods. Very well. I suppose that's as much as one can ask about anyone. Very well. Thank you very much for this meeting. I look forward to us working together in the future. And I'll send details on what way we can help with your ship repairs to the engineers.
Likewise, Station Master. I appreciate your candor.
Nods back to you.
Could I roll a sense motive, just on her interest
Sure.
in myself?
Absolutely.
Should have like a bunch of glass cages in the back
Oh
of
my
this garden.
days, it's a 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Man, there have been some rolls today.
It really has.
Newborn wisdom.
I'm just 7 hours old.
According to how you're seeing it, like, she just seems to be very curious that you haven't seen anything like you. Very strange. Just wanted to know.
Perhaps I was too harsh.
Okay, so you guys stand up, and basically the same way you were brought in, you're taken back to the the airlock and spun back down until you are into the main tunnel again. And the guards just kind of let you go. And the guard captain looks at Sol and Brandon and kind of like, squints at you guys as you walk away.
I give a wink.
It was a lovely meeting. I wish you'd been invited.
Hans, Uzi, where did you get the money for those suits?
Oh, yeah, I was gonna tell you in our like awkward staring circle, but I was contacted in like a video, and apparently we have now like a monthly allowance.
What?
Yeah, I have I have an accountant. I never knew it, but apparently I have an accountant back home, and he set it up with my original.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I was pretty excited. What's happened with you?
Oh, well.
Come into money any time recently?
Soul very distinctly makes eye contact with Brandon.
My call was great. How about yours?
Making any progress with the ship?
Some. We're gonna need those parts from the director, though.
Well, we got the money to do it now, and I'll...
You could say Pons and his family are a brain trust fund.
Oh boy!
And I'll shoot out the amounts to everyone.
Oh my God!
Thank you for your contribution. I've been working on a new alloy covering for my chassis.
I'm going to go see what shops are around here.
Power doesn't know what this means. Everyone seems very excited.
Scriff.
I think
Scriff, plate me in metal.
Yes.
Yes.
Scriff,
Plate me, baby.
plate me like one of your French girls.
Can't give yourself a popsicle, Adam.
I think Brandon will then go over to as like we're away from the guards and everything. He'll kind of address the group as a whole and says, "Well, if we're all in agreement then, and y'all willing to have me aboard, I'll go grab my things and get packed to head on out."
Yeah, of course.
So you guys head your different directions to either buy new gear or work on the ship or what have you. I imagine that Scriff is working in like a panic to try to get this done basically as fast as possible.
He's just trying to find like all the UPB exchangers that he can find because he's like emptying them out. Like, oh, this ATM's empty. I need to go to the next one.
Yeah, they're in the news. There's a shortage of it. There's like a scourge. But eventually some new parts do arrive. They're not like all of them, and they're not the latest and greatest because this station doesn't have the latest and greatest necessarily. But it's definitely better than what you have, and the condition is really what you need because you can build on top of it. You can modify it. But you just need something that hasn't been sitting there for 80 years. Mm-hmm. So parts are brought in. You and the Space Walrus work together. By the end of the montage, you're like, high five! Yes!
Yeah!
All right, Space Walrus.
I slowed time for the high five.
From like the other side of the station.
Yeah.
Freeze frame.
Yes.
It's like the end of police. It's like the end of Police Squad. I missed one guy and he walked past.
Yeah, and we're gonna do a bit of a time jump here. And so you guys get the information. The item is brought to be put aboard the second hand. As you guys get ready to leave the station, the Explodernator comes in and parks alongside the station. It's like almost as big as this thing. And as you guys jump and do your slow motion high five, that is where we're going to end this chapter.
Yeah!
All right.
Oh no, I forgot to give off my flower.
What's in the box?
I can't wait to blast into space.
Okay, we haven't left yet.
When life drains you down, charge up on the Emergency Power Network. Theme song Triangles by Diamond Ace. Find them at bandcamp.com. Music provided by Nicholas Judy of Dark Fantasy Studio at darkfantasystudio.com and Tabletop Audio. Find them at tabletopaudio.com. As well as Carl Casey of White Bat Audio. Find them at whitebataudio.com. Font Azonics by Mixo. Find them on Twitter at MixoFX. The Starfinder role-playing game, including its official lore and images, are the intellectual property of Paizo Incorporated. All rights reserved. Narrated by Danny Lee Collins.